We're joined here by Ben Chafee from the University of Akron. Ben, what happened with your last run?
What happened with our last run? Well, what really happened was that the controls were not, programmed properly, and we wanted to do a test run out there in the sandbox, but we were waiting in line, and we didn't quite get in by the time we had to come in and compete. And so the controls were inverted, and it took the driver a little while to figure it out, and by that point we were backing up and fell into a crater. And we tried very hard to dig ourselves out, but it just didn't work.
Yeah, we actually were wondering whether you were actually trying to make your way out of the arena. It looked like you got yourself in there pretty good.
Yeah, we were really stuck in that crater. I had never really thought about hitting a crater backwards like that. So, but yeah, the real issue was that the controls were inverted, which should be a pretty easy fix.
Now, we did see a bit of tread being pulled out of the arena. Did you break a tread then?
I'm not entirely sure.
It came
But
off.
we might have broke a tread.
Yeah.
We were, due to the fact that we had our drive sprockets literally buried in regolith, that's about the worst condition they could ever possibly be in. So it's very possible that one of the treads might have gotten broken.
Now, how close to last year's configuration is your robot this year?
The overall design is fairly similar. It's very simple to try to keep it reliable, and we had a very good practice run in the arena just 2 days ago. But it's disappointing that we try to adjust a few things and we got reverse controls. But yeah, so the overall design, 3 motors, 2 that control the treads, 1 that controls the actuator. It keeps it simple so it's a reliable mechanical design. But the real changes were we added stronger motors for driving it because that was an issue we had with last year. We made the design modular so it's really easy to repair things that might get broken. Like if the treads are broken, it shouldn't be that difficult to replace them. Just like maybe 20 minutes. So.
And did you modify your scoop from last year?
Yes, we added a pointed tip so that when the robot scoops sand, it instead of last year where we scraped the top surface, it kind of like sticks in like a garden shovel and pulls up a big chunk. So it digs a lot faster than it did last year.
Well, we hope we get a chance to see you guys dig, and it sounds like you're pretty confident you can make the fixes necessary to do that.
I'm pretty confident that Friday we'll be able to put on a pretty good show.
All right, well, we're looking forward to it. Any prediction on regolith?
I don't want to set a prediction at this point because, I mean, I know what's mechanically designed to do, but with driving and stuff, we're going to try for autonomy on Friday.
Very good.
We've done some testing with it. We're still working out the last couple kinks. We were hoping to get a good run in today, so we had a good point buffer for Friday. So we're going to talk over whether or not we want to do autonomy. I'm hoping it's a possibility that we can try to pull it off to try to pull our points back up from today. So,
real quick, how heavy is your rover?
she weighs 55 kilograms. So a little heavier than last year, mainly because of the modular functions and the stronger motors and more circuitry for autonomy.
Okay.
Good deal.
Very good. Well,
yeah.
we wish you the best of luck
Thank
and
you.
look forward to seeing you on Friday.
Before I leave, I got a gift for you here.
Oh.
Here, it's a little Lego
awesome.
model
Oh, that's
of our
great.
robot.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is great.
This is awesome.
Thank you so much. Little outreach from our folks at the University of Akron. Great job, and we look forward to not only putting these together, but seeing you guys deliver more than a qualifying round on Friday.
Yes, that's our hope and our plan. So
Awesome.
All right.
All right,
Thank
well,
you.
we'll
Yes,
go back.
thank you.
Yeah, we'll
Oh,
go back
sorry.
to the arena, and we'll see what's happening there as they set up for the next round.
We're joined here by Cody from Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Cody, what happened with your last run?
Well, we think that we took one of our obstacles a little too strong and jarred out our comms. So once we got to the mining area, our comms just completely went black and we were unable to communicate with the robot.
You think you hit a rock? Or?
We went over a rock pretty hard, basically, is what we're thinking. Our robot tops out at probably around 10 miles an hour, and it's very, very sensitive. And so we're thinking she saw that rock and said, well, we can handle it. And
so I guess you guys didn't do any vibration tests over there at Corpus Christi?
we have a beach, and we don't have a lot of main rocks like that. So it was doing fine on the beach and in loose sand, but when we got to the large 20-centimeter rock, we're thinking she went over it a little too hard. But we'll figure that out when we go back and do our post-test. So...
Well, I mean, the good news is you did find your way to the mining area, and that is an important part of the competition. So, what's the next step? Obviously, you want to avoid hitting the rocks or taking the rocks aggressively, but in terms of fixing your robot, what's the next step?
Well, we always knew we'd have a really strong entrance going to the mining site. Our main interest is that we're one of the only ones using an auger system, which this year we are the only one. There was 2 last year. And so our main goal is to get there as fast as possible so we have enough time to prove the auger system works or doesn't work for future runs. But we're going to have to go and work on our maneuvering skills a little better because there are a lot more obstacles in there than there were during our practice runs. So,
well, every run they'll go ahead and rearrange the arena, so you might see more or less the next time around.
So we just need to be prepared.
Now, based on your design, you say you're using an auger system. In your test, what kind of collections were you making with this auger design as it stands now?
When we had the regolith near our auger system, it collected at about 10 kilograms per 5 minutes.
Okay.
So we estimated if we were able to mine about 7 minutes, we'd get about 15 kilograms.
Okay, now in that situation, then is your strategy to get to the mining area and literally mine for 7 minutes and make one delivery to the hopper?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
One straight delivery. We have a very slow actuator for our unloading phase, so it takes about a minute to unload. So we want to take it only one time.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Well, very good. Well, hopefully you can get this pulled together and worked out, and
hopefully, yes,
and ease back on the driving. Maybe the 22-hour drive from Corpus Christi made everybody a little too overconfident.
Yeah. You need to get used to getting off the highways now.
Well, right. we look forward to your second run on Friday.
Friday
and,
at 11:30.
Yes, hopefully, and we'll see you back here with a better turnout.
Yeah, I hope so too.
All right, now.
All right, thank you.
Thanks a lot, Cody. Appreciate it. All right, and as you can see in the arena, we're setting up for Iowa State University. That's Chris's pick to take this competition, and in fact, right there you're seeing the Caterpillar cam view, and they're going up against Bangladesh University of Engineering and Technology. So stand by as they prepare. We'll come back with full coverage of this round shortly.
Hey, we're back getting ready for the next round. And with us, I'm going to call you Mr. Jim. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
All right,
last year it was Jim the advisor.
Jim the advisor.
Yeah.
You've progressed.
We're here with the faculty advisor for Iowa State University, Mr. Jim. And Jim, I just got to say, this is a big moment for me because, with Franklin, Blair, and I making our selections at the beginning of this competition, they veered away and went to another school where I said, you know what? I think we're going to have a repeat winner this year, so I'm rooting for Iowa State University.
And I appreciate that vote, Chris. I really do. But, in all fairness to Blair the Favre Allen here, who promised me that he's going to retire from prognostication.
I got sucked back in. I couldn't stay away.
I know. You just couldn't help yourself, could you?
That's right.
So, but I have to admit, he made a good choice. It's a good, safe choice.
Right.
North Dakota State has a good history in the competition.
Yep, they sure do.
They did a great job first time out.
That's right.
In making their run. I mean, that's a good amount of regolith they collected, a good solid system.
It is.
And there's some other good systems there, too. I mean, I made a list myself, but I wasn't going to go out and necessarily prognosticate because I didn't want to put myself in that hole. But I was making a list here of some teams, and of course North Dakota's on there, and McGill with their auger system, and I was looking at the number of schools in here, and a lot of them are third and fourth year schools.
That's right.
So you can see the development, but I was also impressed with the number of rookie schools that were in here, like University of Sydney from Australia.
Yes.
And really nice, and BUET from Bangladesh, but both of those now, interestingly enough, are using bucket conveyors. So they've been watching videos that you guys have on YouTube, looking at Laurentian, which was the team that we studied.
That's right. That was a shocker that year.
Well, I think Rob Mueller had named that thing appropriately, calling it the Beast.
Yes,
and it was.
The amount of dust that it had generated. And we were no better on that dust generation. When you talk about this dust mitigation, and our robot in 2011 was Puffer Billy Bob, because when we got going, you couldn't see the robot in the arena either. It was just everywhere.
In fact, we don't know what really happened in there. There should be an investigation to see if you weren't violating some rules within that dust cloud.
Well, don't tell the EPA. Okay? This is supposed to be a moon project, and they're not up there yet.
Well, that's true. That's a good point.
So, are you changing your pick, or what are you doing here?
No, I'm here to restore some balance. Since
Okay.
You obviously picked Iowa State, and we're friends with Iowa State, and obviously you're supporting Iowa State.
I support NASA Edge.
That's right.
You guys
all
do a
very
great
friendly.
job.
I sense a lot of enthusiasm and friendliness here.
It's good sportsmanship. And, we see a lot of that in the Luna pits with the student teams and that, and it's all about the mission,
right.
And what we're doing with advancing the science of going out there and commercializing space and getting ourselves into the next frontiers.
Well, I have to say this, even though I picked North Dakota, and it was not at all personal, obviously.
He picked him on the color.
Even though I picked North Dakota, the thing is I knew you'd be a competitive team, but one of the important things is as we looked around, we have seen some real significant growth among different programs.
Right.
And obviously, we're not just looking at Iowa State and North Dakota because they've done well in the past. We've seen good, solid development over the years in tackling the problems, and that's part of the process, and that's part of the maturity of the programs and things like that. So, speaking of maturity, you are... if I understand correctly, your team is going to attempt an autonomous run today.
Yeah, that's the goal. Is we got it set. We were up till 5 this morning, worked through the night, getting everything squared away, running tests in the parking lot. Even did some testing on the beach earlier in the week, and we've got all worked out. Okay. So we're going to give it a roll. They've got a strategy. I've given up trying to tell them how to run strategy. I've just learned I got to let them go.
That's right.
And I'm just going to forewarn them when they're doing something they shouldn't be doing. But really, I've had to do that very little with this team this year. They've really been excellent to work with.
How many returning members do you have from last year's team?
We have 10 returning members from last year's team.
So what a great combination of having experienced members and the new members coming on.
Yeah, in fact, a fair number of members on our team this year are freshmen.
Oh, wow.
And some sophomores, and then we have a good mixture of juniors and seniors, and some super seniors, and
Super seniors.
yeah, the 5th-year students.
I was like,
see, we
golly,
have a
they
lot
have
of
superheroes at that school? That doesn't seem fair.
well, it's a little-known secret at Iowa State. Anyway, I mean, look at the logo.
Hey, it's very impressive. Let me tell you.
Is it fair to say that if you go back and you look at since the first year of the competition,
Yeah.
and you take the first year teams now, they are more advanced than the first year teams 4 years ago?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, because they can go in and they can do the research. They look at our Facebook pages. In fact, we've had a lot of conversation this year with several teams from India wanting to learn, and we've just given information freely because we know how complex this problem is.
Right.
And to just say, no, we're not going to give you information, that's just not right. I mean, it sounds so easy. Go out 50 feet, or not even that. Go out 20 feet. Dig a little sand, come back and dump it in the bucket.
Well, I mean, isn't that part of the fact that, I mean, the competition, even if you just gave diagrams to everybody, it's still hard work. I mean, you still to actually go out and build it and get it here and work with your team and drive it and go through all the process. That's still hard, even if you do everything right along the way.
Hey, we started. We're
okay.
starting
Right.
to run, so let's see how we do.
You're going to stick around for this, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
And I'll watch it from here since you've got the video
Now-
going.
now-
It looks like, all right.
Now, Mr. Jim, last year you were getting teary-eyed, so this,
Yep.
No, I did not.
okay,
Right.
good.
In fact, right now I'm a little concerned because it's just sitting there and it should be moving into position. There it goes. They've done a little program changes, so I don't know what's going on here. They are attempting autonomy, and they will make a decision at some point where they're going to try for a while to let it go.
Moving now. Well, now, here's an interesting question from a viewer standpoint. When you look at this, can you tell whether it's autonomous or whether it's being driven?
Yeah, and I'd have to say right now, something glitched in the autonomy with the way it's driving. Or no, then maybe not. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll watch here and see what it does on the next run.
Now,
what
how
they're
much
doing.
regolith can you take in at one time?
Well, right now they're planning on taking in about 20 kilograms at a time for
Okay.
balance. But the hopper is actually sized, they could take as much as 70.
70. Gotcha.
If the robot ran perfectly and it had no wasted motions, we could get 5 sorties in. And so theoretically, 5 times 70, you could do maybe 350. But that's a long stretch. Reality in this, you probably get 3 runs in, and depending on how well we do with the digging, we might get 20, 60 kilograms in there.
Is it fair to say that the mass of your
look, you're
excavator
both
is about
digging.
33 kilograms, 34 kilograms?
We're right now in this configuration weighing in at 35 kilograms.
35 kilograms,
Last
okay.
year we were at 41.
I got to
Okay.
tell you, this is awesome. We're seeing both Bangladesh and Iowa State both collecting regolith. We've had a hard time ever since the first few rounds in this competition, or first few groups in this competition. We've very rarely had 2 fully functioning robots in the arena at the same time.
Well, it's early in the round, so
That's
anything
true.
can
I know,
happen.
but
So,
we're happy to see it.
yeah. And as we well know, having been here so many times, that anything can happen when you're out there.
That's true.
Right.
And we're seeing that now. And I got a feeling we had some problems Monday. We were doing the practice run, and the system kept coming out. We had to keep resetting. And what I'm seeing here right now looks like that might be kind of what's going on.
Okay.
Okay, now I'll need some clarification here. With the resetting, is that something that's autonomous or allowed within the autonomous run to be able to reset something?
I don't know. That's a good question. That's a good question for Rob Mueller. On
Okay,
that.
well, we'll have to ask him when he comes back on.
Yeah, and it all depends on where does the fault lie. Is it within our system or is it within
That's true.
NASA's system? And now this doesn't look good because he's going up too far. So we must be having some communications issues, and this is why this competition is what it is, because you're never quite sure what's going to happen. Yeah.
Now what are those 2 things that are sticking out on the front on your excavator?
They're bump switches.
Bump switches, okay.
They're what we call tactile sensors.
Okay.
The idea is we got 2 tactile sensors on the back of the robot and 2 on the front of the robot. Though I'm not really sure on this robot what is the front and what is the rear.
Okay, here we go.
So this is new design this year, because I don't remember that being on last year's design.
Well, actually, it was on last year's
Okay.
design, but we didn't use it to the same extent that we
Okay.
are this year. So now Okay, this will be interesting to see what they do. Okay, and he's coming up, and he should make contact with the sensors soon. And as soon as he makes contact with the sensors and they get that, then they'll go do the dump, and they've got the switch indication because it looks like they're getting ready to do that.
And you are in.
So here we go, and there goes some regolith. So now they got
I see it. It's
and
very good.
Yep, it's flowing out. It seems to take its sweet time coming out, but it does flow out pretty well on its own, and they may turn the conveyor on and do a little jostling. Yep, there they go. That gets a little vibration going and gets some of the material to come out.
Now you spray it with Teflon?
No, we did not, but actually we lined it with more epoxy, so it was very smooth. But the guys went out and played in the sand pit. You know, we had all that rain, and it got kind of wet. And that can kind of do things to epoxy and that. I kind of warned them about that. Make sure it gets good and dried out. And we'll see. So
now, again, I'm curious. Now I know that. Now I see that must be one of your team members there with the video camera.
Well, no, they're able to hand the video camera off to the judges.
Oh, okay, okay.
Gotcha.
And they do a great job, by the way. They shot video for us during practice, and they gave us so many wonderful angles to look at.
Oh, and it looks like Bangladesh is also making its way to the. This is fantastic.
This is good to see two teams again.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially our international team, seeing them make it through. Now, it's interesting. You talked about the brush sensors. Now, that happened on one of the teams earlier, where the impact with the hopper actually caused some damage, and they were unable to deliver. So it's interesting, those switches that you talked about that sort of give us an indication of when to stop and not putting something sensitive up against it.
Looks
looks like we're going to head out again and do another run.
Let's see how much you have in the hopper. Let's see if we can get back.
4.5.
Okay.
So we got 4 minutes. They're going to have to get serious about dinging some more.
Oh, look at that, Bangladesh with 10 kilograms. That's awesome.
Right.
Oh, we've got a good mano a mano competition here, Jim.
We'll see how it goes. That's a pretty deep crater they gave us to run through, and they warned us in the rules that they possibly give us a deep crater like that. So
I guess it was unfortunate for University of Akron seeing how they actually.
Oh boy! Did you see that?
Yes, Jim? I did, and boy, my hat's off to them for trying. And I understand the emotions they're going through now, because we had similar situations in 2010 and 2011. You know, and that could still happen here too.
Yeah,
right?
That's true. It's interesting though that we were talking to the student from Akron, and he had mentioned that the controls were reversed. They hadn't got a chance to test them after installing them, and so they were having some driving issues and ended up in that crater inadvertently.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So we got 3 minutes to. Looks like this will be probably your final dump with time.
Yeah.
I think.
If they can get a little more efficient. But it looks like
I don't know. Last year, you guys have that uncanny ability to. You guys were making time last year, running back out, getting some.
Oh yeah,
right.
Well, it was a much faster robot than this year. Since we decided we were going to run over rocks, that we probably ought to do it slowly.
Right.
That's true.
So our robot has a top speed of I think 1.5 feet per second.
Okay.
Flat out. Pedal to the metal.
Yeah. Well,
now when you went into this first round, did the team get together and say, look, we're going to be a little bit conservative this time, not take as many risk?
Yeah, that was our control room, and that was Aaron Hill and Nathan Booyer.
It looks like they're controlling things.
Yeah, they are. So we're not doing autonomous. Obviously, we had a software problem. So like everybody else, we're saying, well, we'll get the autonomy on the next run.
Right.
Yeah. Obviously, we'll have to be doing that too.
Well,
so this is good because this makes this is a tight hunt now.
That's right.
Alabama's currently in the lead, and if we want to get ahead of Alabama, we calculated out we had to get 60 kilograms.
60 kilograms. Okay.
Yeah, and
you can clearly see you're
we're dumping regolith, but how much? Yeah. That's the big question.
Now, and that'll be a question.
Well, you got 20
there we go.
I was going to say now that the real issue, and you can see that it'll be interesting to know whether it was a software issue on autonomy or whether or not you could get enough to qualify under autonomy, because even if you're fully autonomous, if you come up short, it wouldn't count.
It wouldn't count. So they obviously made an executive decision in mission control, and decided that whatever was going on, they didn't want to risk not qualifying. So they went out and just drove it.
So I got a question. So do you think we may be wasting some time with those extra dumps just to get a little bit back into the hopper as opposed to trying to go scoop some more?
I'm glad you asked that question. Yes. That's exactly the question I'm going to ask them tonight.
Oh man,
I told you we were experts on this show.
Say, but I don't want to be in that room with those kids.
Hey, Chris, I think you'd make a good engineer. You want to come help down at Iowa State?
Hey, I'd love to come down.
I could be a mascot.
Yeah. But now we're going to keep picking the wrong school. You might be the right school right now for that matter. So I will quickly retract my statement.
I guarantee I cannot get accepted in any of these institutions.
So maybe this is just like you said. At this point they know they're out of time. They just want to practice to see, how much is left in that hopper, so that when they go for round 2, they know exactly what they're going to be going for.
Yeah. I know there's going to be a whole lot of discussion tonight about strategy in that.
And the fortunate thing in your case is that you have a late run.
Yeah.
Whereas some of these schools who are in the late are going early, so you know what to gun for.
Yeah. We'll kind of be in the driver's seat, so to speak. But I don't know. We'll have to see how the points come out. At 23.5 kilograms, I think Alabama's going to have a sizable lead on us there.
Yeah.
And so will North Dakota and maybe even Florida Tech, because I don't know what their weight is.
But even still, remember, and this does happen. Even though you have a successful first round, if not successful in the second round, it's an average for the final score, and it's a great equalizer. But look at that. This is very awesome. We just finished, and Bangladesh gets a qualifying number.
Yes,
that's
very
excellent.
Awesome to see one of our international teams do that.
Yes.
Very proud, and obviously very pleased with Iowa State, even though I did not pick them. I have great respect for them and your program.
That, Blair.
But I got to say this, while this was going on, we had 3 or 4 members from the University of Alabama behind us watching very closely to see what the results were. Because I tell you what, even though this is a friendly competition, everyone's helping each other out. There's still some competitive edge going on.
It is a competition.
It is a competition.
Yeah.
So everybody's interested for those few points that they can get.
Well, and like I said, I wouldn't want to be in the room when you question those kids.
No, they'll be talking very hot and heavy amongst themselves is what they need to do. I just
would you like me to come by and give a pep talk?
Sure.
I can do this. I can come by and make sure Chris shows up. That's about the extent of my ability to do a pep talk. But,
and in fact, what we're going to do is we have one of the team members from Iowa State here.
Oh, that's
great.
So, would you like to be on at the same time, or you?
No. I will bow out and let Ricardo talk. He's our club president.
Okay,
Let him talk to us to what's going on.
Bring him in here.
Ricardo, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good.
Now.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, we want to be live.
All right, so Ricardo, 24 kilograms. Tell us your initial analysis for round 1.
So as of right now, it gets us there. We're qualified, so that was the main step. It's not as big as we wanted, but at the same time, it's not completely bad. It just gives us a starting point where we can go and analyze where we went wrong and try to get that fixed by Friday, so we can at least get autonomy points or a better run. So
now here I was talking to your faculty advisor, Jim.
Mr. Jim.
Mr. Jim, we're going to call him Mr. Jim. So we developed this relationship over the last 4 years.
Yes,
sir. So one of the questions I asked him, I think he's going to ask you later tonight, so I just want to give you a heads up, is that during each of your dumps, you actually spent a lot of time trying to dump to get that last bit of regolith out.
Exactly.
What about the strategy of dumping a couple of times, getting most of it out, going back to dig more, and spend more time trying to get as much as you can in terms of number of runs?
So there's different there's pros and cons to both situations. We can either spend our time doing that multiple thing, trying to get as most as we can, or we can try and risk it again. Didn't you see how it almost tipped? We can risk that again
right.
on the travel. So if we have material and we know it, we at least have the load sensors to tell us. We can try to keep on going that route, and then instead of risking it all, getting stuck again, flipping over, any of that. So
Well, actually, and that's a good point too, because on the one hand, the risk of getting stuck is probably less of a concern, but tipping over could damage.
Tipping over
the robot.
is definitely a concern, especially on our first travel out, we didn't encounter it as bad, but coming back with a full load, it did try to tip over.
Okay.
So
Now what happened with full autonomy?
So I'm not entirely sure right now.
Okay.
That's a question more for the guys in controls. We do know there's a lot of different routers clogging up communication, and it's really laggy between arena and the control area. So maybe that had to do with it.
Okay.
It'd be nice to see more of the routers to be cleared out. I guess maybe it'll help communications, but it is what it is. And
Okay. Well, I tell you what, we're looking forward to the second round, and it's gonna be interesting tomorrow because, some of the top schools that are in the lead now go first,
Yeah.
and you come in the afternoon, so you're gonna be able to see all the scores, and you'll get some feedback, and you're gonna be able to know by this time tomorrow.
Yep.
Friday.
Yeah.
Whether or not you'll be ready to go, and what exactly what you'll need.
Exactly. Yep.
So, good luck to you.
Well, thank you.
And get back working, and if you need a pep talk with the team, just give me a call. I'll be glad to come over.
Sounds great.
Awesome.
Thank
Thanks
you
so
for having
much.
me.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thanks
no
for coming
problem.
by. All right.
And as we're getting ready for the next group to go, we actually have Eric Reiner from Caterpillar, who's one of our major sponsors here at the competition. How you doing, Eric?
Very good. Great to be here.
It's good to have you back for the fourth year.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And
Fantastic.
I have to say, right off the bat, thank you so much for Cat Cam. We've installed Caterpillar cams, and they are right at the hopper, and they provide an excellent view for our audience, not for the team, so nobody gets to use it to advance the competition, but in terms of understanding what's happening, we've seen it used to really explain what's going on several times, and we just really appreciate that. That's a great added value.
And don't forget the product placement for these schools with CAT Cam.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a big bonus.
We had McGill University knew they couldn't make a delivery, and so they were doing little laps right around the CAT Cam. So I got to see nice featured logos and things of that nature. So
that's great.
Good stuff.
So what do you think about the competition so far?
It's been great. We've seen where are we at now? We have with this last run, were we at maybe 9 schools who've put points on the board now?
I think that's right.
Right. So we've got that. We've got all the international presence, which is really great to see as well. Mm-hmm. So as a global company, Caterpillar really needs to reach out to students around the world. Right. And so we're great to see that as well.
And that's evident with 18 schools or 18 teams from international countries.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and Bangladesh actually qualified this
know.
last round, and that's just great to see.
Right, so we have them, and we also have University of Sydney.
Yep.
Did they not?
Yep.
So at least
Yeah,
we have at least 2
Oh, yeah.
international
Oh, yeah.
schools that have put points on the
Right.
board. So it's getting pretty exciting.
It is getting exciting.
And you know, over the years, we've been talking about how this is important for Caterpillar because I mean, you're looking at the future generation of engineers here, right here
Absolutely.
at this competition, and you actually are hiring some of these students that enter these competitions.
Yes, we do. So in fact, I think we have 5 now that are Lunabotics alumni at Caterpillar, and one of them is actually here at the event, here at the CAT exhibit.
Oh, that's great.
Great.
2012, so last year alumni
Okay.
of the event.
That's
Wait
wonderful.
a minute. So a new hire gets the joy of coming down to
Yeah,
to
he's
Florida
right back
to the
from-
competition?
Right back from where he was
Oh,
last year.
man, that's
Hey, I mean, what better way to come back and give back to the
Give back to the
students?
whole
That's right.
event and the
that's a good
community,
point.
and it is kind of it's becoming a true, I think, community
Well,
of these schools. So
We've seen it because of a lot of the returning programs, and now as we talk about them, we actually have historical data that we can use to describe them. So it's
That's
really
right.
encouraging. Good to
absolutely.
And one of the great things about this competition that we're always looking, and this is big for you, for Caterpillar, is we're looking for full autonomy. We're trying to see how many schools can come up, and which is very challenging.
It's very challenging.
And we thought, Iowa State would have been one of the first ones, but they had an issue.
They did, but so their issue in this last run was communication.
Okay.
So they were having some dropout. So the NASA communication folks are going to work with them
Okay.
between now and their next run to see if they can help them understand that, so that they can try to attempt autonomy again. When they began the run, they were in full autonomy.
Right.
And from what they had described to me before during the inspection, their robot was doing exactly what they expected it to do in autonomy until that COM dropout occurred.
Right.
So it was starting to process to their plan.
Right.
So if they can get their communication, so the viewers at home, stay tuned. We might see full autonomy.
That's right. And that's an extra prize. You're giving
We
an
are.
added prize for full autonomy. In
We
the
are.
competition.
Yep. So we have prizes this year for first. We have a first, second, and third prize for autonomy if we get some teams that are successul. But to your point, it is a very challenging
Yes.
thing to do.
see. All right, now, just putting on the human resources hat for a second, if I
He has many hats at Caterpillar. Yeah.
If I'm a school and I've just won the autonomy prize for Caterpillar, and I decide to include that in my resume when I'm applying for a job, that's got to be pretty exciting and obviously something that you guys are particularly interested in.
Yeah, so these teams, all of them are working on technology that we at Caterpillar are looking at and needing for the future and to provide value to our customers. And so we are looking at technologies all the way from things that help support manned operation and improve and support that operator, all the way through remote control, like many of the teams are doing now, to full autonomy.
Right.
And so we're seeing that, and these teams are getting real firsthand experience, real world problems, the same kind of problems that we deal with in day to day in the real world in that area. They're getting that experience here.
I was.
Awesome.
This is totally my fault, Eric. But if I would have thought about it earlier, we were going to bring the Blair's e-stop that we actually developed at JSC. With the help of several of your colleagues down there, because it works quite well.
Yes.
So
have you gotten some good comments on that?
it works like a champ. So we were going to demonstrate it this year to everybody. For all 50
that might be a
teams.
safety problem for Blair, but
Well, that they use it around the office. I leave the room and they hit the e-stop and I never come back, and they think that's a success. And I don't understand that. But.
So we're winding down day one. And the excitement really begins tomorrow, because now after the first round, all the schools have had a chance. They got their first round under the belt.
Right.
They're making adjustments to their robot. They're going to be up tonight, and I'm sure they're going to be up at their hotel tonight working on their robots. And when they come back tomorrow to start round two, it's really going to get exciting.
yeah, the game is still on. And so for your viewers at home, you're going to have to stay tuned, I think, all the way to the end.
Absolutely.
Because, yes, we have maybe 9 teams now that have put points on the board, a lot of teams that have 0 yet, but when the second run comes around, the ones that didn't do so well the first time may do well, and some of the ones that really put points on the board could have a problem, and all of a sudden it gets turned upside down, and so it's still anybody's game.
It's
right.
just not a foregone conclusion that if you have a successful run in the pit, or I mean in the arena, that you'll have a good run the second time. There's
It's
no
not,
guarantees.
but it will demonstrate the value of reliability of your
that's a great
system
point.
and of your hardware. So if you're reliable and you can get points, even if you're not stellar, you're not getting the most material into the bin, but if you're doing it consistently in both runs, that may be what makes the difference for you in winning.
That's great.
So-
well, Eric, we're going to have you on hopefully later this week as
Sure.
we get towards the end of the competition, so we kind of sort of evaluate the teams and the competition over the week. But it's great to have you. Great to see you again.
Great to be here.
And go get yourself some nice
I
Colombian
will.
coffee.
To my kids at home, because they were waiting to see.
Oh, that's
right.
Hi, Kristen. Hi, Matt. Hi, Connie. Good to see you.
Hi,
I'll be home
Jason.
soon.
Hi, Connie. Hi, Matt.
And make sure you go to bed at regular time. Don't stay up late. Okay.
And that sibling rivalry thing, it's not going away. I mean, I hate to say it. I mean, you got great parents, but hang tough, because it's a battle out there.
All right.
thanks.
Hey,
Eric.
thanks.
All
Thanks,
right.
guys.
Yep.
Okay, so we're looking at the Caterpillar Arena, and we only have one school in the arena right now. If we can go to that shot there, we're still getting clarification whether or not if it's actually North-South University in the A1 in the Caterpillar Arena. So Franklin's checking up on that, and we want to see what happened to 3 schools.
Right, and in the meantime, while we get that sorted out, we have with us M.A. Owl from Bangladesh University of Engineering and Technology.
Or BUET.
Or BUET, yeah. But you guys qualified in your run. Congratulations.
Yes.
We're very excited for you
Thank
guys.
you.
Over 10 kilograms.
Yeah, actually it stopped at 9.9.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Just it stopped just at 9.9 for just a few seconds, and then it started to
So,
roll again.
your heart was pounding, and then
Yeah,
next
yeah,
thing you know,
yeah.
it went over, and then it was...
Well, we're very excited because we really love to see the international teams that travel so far and put so much effort into getting here. Really good to see you guys compete and actually qualify. So on your second run, you're just adding to your score.
Yeah,
It's got to be a great feeling.
yeah.
So tell us about your design.
Actually, it's the first time we've come here,
Okay.
and we planned just to qualify this year.
Right.
Well, you can check that off
Yeah,
the
yeah.
list.
That's
Good job.
right. Everything is bonus now, right?
Yeah. And our robot runs on 4 wheels independently,
Okay.
and it has a bucket ladder that excavates and stores the sand on the storage bin
Okay.
Mhm.
on the back. And when we have completed excavating the sand, we get back to the deposit zone, and then we dump through another conveyor and bucket
Right.
system.
Now, at what point did you know that you were going to qualify? When you had a full bucket, does it hold enough to qualify? Did you?
No.
Oh.
Just as I said, when it stopped at just 9.9, we are all like, what will happen? Then, luckily, it was working, and we had some more
Oh,
in
good.
the bin.
Oh, all right. You just ran out of time at that point? Is
No.
Okay.
We had plenty of time.
Okay, good. I
Time
thought
was
so.
no
I
problem.
thought, in fact, we were wondering if you guys were going to take another shot at going out and getting
no,
some more.
actually, our excavating chain broke off, so we could not have gone for another round.
Oh wow! You really just got in. You barely got in. That is awesome. But what a great story! You were right there, and you had a mechanical breakdown.
Yeah.
But despite the mechanical breakdown, when you got there, we were watching it come in, and you qualified. Got to be a great feeling. How did the
Yeah.
team feel when they saw it go from 9.9 into the qualifying?
They actually hugged me. I was driving in there.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Now you say you broke the chain on your excavator. Is that difficult to replace? Will you guys be able to fix that by Friday?
We hope we can. We will be able to replace it.
Okay, good. Well, listen, I tell you, we're very excited for you guys and really glad to hear that it was successful, and we look forward to seeing your second run.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you guys will not just get another 10 kilograms. Hopefully, you'll get back out there and maybe make a couple of runs, maybe double your score. But we're really proud of you and glad that you made it all the way from Bangladesh out here to the United States to compete.
Just one thing. I actually flew for about 37 hours, including transit in China.
Wow.
37 hours?
Yeah.
Good grief.
Well, let's since you traveled that such a long time, do you have anything you'd like to say to your friends back home?
Yeah, of course. We miss all our teammates who could not make it
You
here.
can look at that camera. You can look right
Yeah.
at him.
Yep.
And we thank our faculty advisors, Sajid sir, Upal sir, Rafid sir, Rokoni sir, and thanks to all the guys who are watching right now, and for your continuous support from the very start. And we would like to thank Dutch Bangla Bank and Prime Bank and BUET Alumni Association for their financial help. And at the last but not the least, our university, BUET, who helped us with all its resources, the labs, the lab assistants, especially Ohab sir, Everything on our robot is handmade except for the motors and the screws that we have to buy
Right.
commercially.
Well,
and everything was made in the labs of our university.
That's awesome.
And we're very proud of you guys, and we look forward, like I said, we're very proud of what you did here today. That's quite an accomplishment, but we're still looking forward to Friday where
We
you guys
still
can
have
come
another
back
round.
in and do even more. Very proud of this team, and we look forward to seeing you guys compete again on Friday.
So I'm going to challenge you to double the amount that you collected today on Friday.
Okay,
All right?
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
There
right.
you
Challenge
go.
accepted.
We expect BUET to double their output. Okay, we won't accept anything
So
less.
it's going to be 19.9, and then you're going to be like 20.1 afterwards. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, very
Sounds
good.
Thanks a lot.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Beginning their competition, and we look forward to seeing them succeed as well.
When you're ready. Okay, we're back, and we have a minute 19 left, and of course, North South University is still heading. Hopefully, they're having some issues, so it
Yeah.
looks like they're not going to be able to deliver any regolith today. We do have an update.
I was hoping you'd get to that.
Yeah,
So, okay,
we do
good.
have a major update, and again, we're going to get back to one of the Columbia teams that was supposed to be running but had some issues, and we're going to bring back Andreas and Yvette back
great,
on
great.
in a few minutes, and they're going to speak with the team and see exactly what's going on. But I do want to give an update to our viewers. Originally, after Iowa State and BUET, Bangladesh University
engineering technology.
we were supposed to have the school from Poland, from Warsaw University, but their part has still not come in yet. Is that so? They're
that's
still looking for their digger.
Okay.
Okay. And then also the other team from India cannot compete as well. That they're having issues with their, their specifications were not met. It was too wide.
Oh wow.
So they did not meet the initial specifications, so they cannot go into the arena. Also, Brack University, which was the last team scheduled to compete today, will not be competing because of an anomaly. We'll have to figure out exactly what their issue is. But we do have Purdue University who's going to be checking in and making a run today.
Okay, great. Okay,
and
good.
so there's quite a bit of schools. But what we're going to do is we're gonna go back to the arena, which we are now, and we're going to bring on Andreas and Yvette, and we're going to have them talk to the school from Columbia and see what went wrong with their robot.
Okay, great.
All right.